Kids can say some crazy stuff. They can be heart-wrenchingly sweet and brutally honest. And sometimes they can say things that make us adults want to sleep with the light on. Here are 10 little stories that will make you wish that imaginary friends weren't something that existed. Enjoy. When my older daughter was 2 or 3, she used to have a couple of imaginary friends, Dodo and Dee Dee. They were typical imaginary friends. She would talk to them and play with them and tell me about their lives. Then one day, when she was about 3, she was talking on her playphone when I walked into the room. She hung up her phone and said to me, with a completely flat voice and deadpan expression, "The evil is coming." It scared the crap out of me. She seriously had an imaginary friend named the Evil. Turns out the Evil was actually a pretty nice friend. She just had an unfortunate name. I used to hallucinate and hear voices at night when I was around 4. They used to say shit like, "Is he asleep yet? No, he's just pretending." Then I'd hear footsteps running to my room and sometimes actually shit myself, and they'd laugh. That's when I wasn't actually getting beaten up by them in a dream. It was just my parents and I at the house, and it wasn't my parents. I called them the bad boys in the kitchen. I am 39 now, and my son, who is 6, now once told me that his friend Ben said he used to make me poop my pants when I was little. I laughed it off. But my son gave me accurate details of the house and mentioned the bad boys in the kitchen and how they used to beat me up, which disturbed him because I'm his hero and no one can beat up Dad. I literally froze and felt like I was 4 again. I asked who Ben was, and he said it was his imaginary friend. I told him Ben is a liar and was just jealous and to not worry about it. I haven't slept well since. When my little brother was little, he acted like he had angels talking to him every second. One day my mom overheard him say, "I can't kill him. He's my only dad." My little brother's imaginary friend Roger lived under our coffee table. Roger had a wife and 9 kids. Roger and his family lived peacefully alongside us for 3 years. One day, my little brother announced that Roger wouldn't be around anymore since he shot himself and his entire family. I don't know if he remembers any of this, but his genuine lack of remorse was very disturbing. My brother had an invisible friend named Tony Raguel. He was 6 inches tall and elderly. One day we found my brother crying in his room. Apparently Tony Raguel had passed away in his sleep. We buried him in a shoebox in the backyard. So basically, we had a funeral complete with a moment of silence for an empty shoebox. An exchange between one of the students 5, in my student teaching placement, and myself. What do you want to write about? The child says, Jack. I ask, oh, who's Jack? She replies, he's my invisible friend. I say, oh, okay. Tell me something about Jack. To which she says, he's dead. My little brother used to talk about a woman who would visit his room at night. He said she wore a red dress, that her name was Franny, and that she used to sing to him, and that she floats. We actually had a relative who died years before he was born named Fanny, and her favorite color was red. I think she was even buried in a red dress. When we showed him a picture of her, he said that was who was visiting him. Not an imaginary friend, but this was back in the 80s when my daughter was 3. We were watching MTV, back when it was cool and played back-to-back videos. The Bangles' Walk Like an Egyptian came on, and my daughter just stood there staring at it. When the video was done, she turned to me and said, we didn't sing or dress like that back then. Slightly amused, I laughed and asked her to sing for me the way the Egyptians sang back then. She proceeded to sing a strange tune in a haunting melody that sent chills down our spine. Later, she drew a picture of her dress and I started crying. It was way too ancient and way too intricate to be bullshit. My son from the age of 3 always told me about the creeper man who lived in my mom and dad's bedroom. He brings it up after he visits them. Now I made the mistake once of asking what he looks like, to which my son said, oh, he doesn't have a face. I asked my 6-year-old son what he was doing, and he said, playing with Craig, the name of his imaginary friend. Then when I asked him, what are you guys doing? My son responded back with, making babies. Well, some of those weren't all that bad now, were they? While I'm thinking about it, anybody want to babysit? See you next time.